So how it's 2022 for the year itself. Okay, so what has happened, and probably I will also share, what are some of the potential opportunities and what is going to happen next year itself. Okay, so this year itself, I think we guys seen a lot of news talking about what we call soaring rents, right? I think this year's rental is really going crazy. We have heard of HDBs even doubling their rents, okay, from like 1,007 to even 3,007, right? So a lot of things are headlines, but I think one of the headlines is that rental today has risen quite a fair bit. So if you guys are landlords, I believe you guys are benefiting. But based on the statistics, okay, the first 9 months is 21%, but I think today we have a lot of landlords now, a lot of colleagues telling us, Alex, we got 20% now, 50%, some even 100% in terms of rental. Okay, so why is it important to us? Because rental is a support, okay, especially for our resale prices. Okay, so if rental is good, okay, that's a very good support towards our resale prices. Okay, so there's a lot of strong demand because why? Economy is opening up. There are more foreigners, there are more companies, okay, bringing in expats and talents into Singapore. Okay, so this is one of the few reasons pushing up rental prices. Okay, so you can see first 9 months 21%, but in terms of our prices, this year it only went up by 8.2%. So if you look at it side by side, actually we still have a fair room to grow. Okay, so with a higher rental, what do we expect? Okay, so we do expect lesser sellers in the market, especially next year, because especially if you have good rental, who wants to sell? True or not? So with this crunch in supply, guys, you will know what's going to happen already, right? So you have lesser sellers in the market. What would that actually prompt buyers to do, right? Look into places like where? New launches. Okay, so this is why we need to let you know. And of course, second, okay, there will be more tenants that would turn into buyers. Okay, so why do I say that? Because when rental starts to increase, right, tenants will start to feel the pinch. Okay, so then you will actually see a lot of tenants coming up into the market to say, hey, I'm paying so much rental, I might as well buy something, right? So this is something that we do see at least for the next year that's going to happen. Okay, so just to share with you, for the past over the past 2 years, okay, you can see a property price actually climbed by 25% already. Okay, so for those buyers that always like to say, hey, I want to wait for the price to drop, I think while waiting, you might as well profit. Okay, so usually we always tell buyers to why not just profit while waiting. Okay, so all this demand is pushing rentals to buy properties. Okay, so there's a lot of supply crunch, and you can see our BTOs are severely oversubscribed. Okay, so for those who have friends trying to bid for BTOs, I'm not sure. I have close friends that tried to bid like 10, 11 times BTO, and yet they still cannot get an application. Okay, this will show you how many times oversubscribed. So for example, if we talk about, let's say Jurong, it's like seven times oversubscribed, right? If there's like 500 units, means there's 3,000 over applicants. Okay, so these are all oversubscribed, in terms of BTOs. Okay, so with all this oversubscription, okay, it will push buyers who fail to secure a unit back into the market, right? Whether they buy resale or maybe they will just, with the affordability, they can even buy the OCR market. Okay, so this is what is being pushing people. Okay, so for those who fail to buy BTOs, and if they can afford a little bit more, where do you think they'll buy? Definitely will push them into the market. What's the cheapest OCR in the market? Okay, can anyone tell me, put in the chat, what is the cheapest form of condos, in terms of the market when you want to buy a private property? If you guys know, you should put it into the chat. No lah, not launched yet lah, all those. Okay, so the cheapest form is all your ECs, right? So you can see the market actually moves this way, right? From BTOs, no supply, you can't get it. You push buyers into the EC market. That's why Copper Grand fully sold already. Okay, so fully sold, since the second once it's opened up to second timers, is fully sold. And of course, right, your tenant EC on day one, okay, it sells out like 72%. I believe in a month's time, now maybe in 3 weeks' time, okay, they will be able to sell out 100%. Okay, this is a lot of strong buyers, from the market. They can't get a unit, they're frustrated, so they're going to buy something in the entry lowest quantum of the private property segment. Okay, so This is why you see a lot of strong pickup rates, right? From Amo, to a Lentor, to even Skyden. So everywhere in Singapore, you can see from its first launch, okay, this is what is happening, right? So units are flying off the shelf. And when things are too hot, plus more hot, what do you think the government will do? When things are getting hot, definitely they will find a way to do what? To cool the market, right? So it's because the market is too hot. That's why, there's always cooling measures. And I felt these cooling measures, we need to reiterate a bit and maybe to share with you where some of the opportunities. Where there's always pros and cons. Okay, so we want to look at where the opportunities are and what are the impacts of some of these recent cooling measures. Okay, so everyone must be updated up to here. So there's a lot of cooling measures that happen on the 30th of September. So please be up to speed, because this is where buyers will always ask you, hey, there's cooling measures and how, what's going to happen. So we have to share with them on the table topic, what is actually happening and what has happened. Okay, so some of the major changes is that, in terms of the calculation to take a loan, okay, so all the calculations were based on 3.5% interest rates, but now they base it on 4%, okay, which actually means they will get slightly lesser loan, okay, so this is things that is happening. And of course, this is for the private and also the HDB market in terms of bank loans. But for the HDB loans, okay, it has shifted from 2.6 to 3%. So again, they increase this, what we call the gearing ratio of interest rates, so that they don't want buyers to overstretch. They don't want them to get too much loan, okay? So because of that, what is the actual impact on the market? Okay, so actual impact, is actually, what is this word called? It's called affordability. Okay, so buyers' affordability will decline by 6%. So guys, it doesn't bring the market down, it doesn't bring price down, but it brings affordability down. Okay, so we have to be very clear what are we conveying to our customers. Okay, so buyers' affordability actually lowers by 6%. So regardless of how much income you're making, whether you're making 10,000, you're making 15,000, in terms of the absolute quantum price, yes, you will have a 6% lesser in terms of budget. Okay, so they want to bring this down a little bit. Okay, and also there's a big change in the LTV. Okay, especially for the HDB loans. Okay, so what is LTV? A loan to value, which means in the past, long before our time, just 3-4 years back, HDB loans you can get up to 90%, right? So which means you only need a 10% down payment. Then last year, okay, it was 85%, okay, which means you have to down pay 15%. So that's how they actually control the HDB prices and loans. And this year itself in September, right, just 2 months ago, 3 months ago, they came out with a 80%. That means your down payment from 10% previously increased to 15%, and then now it increased to 20%. Okay, so this, what are they doing? They're trying to not let a lot of people buy into this HDB market, okay, because HDB market is super hot, as you guys know. Okay, so this is one of the ways that they are cramping down in terms of escalating public housing. Okay, so because public housing is really where 80% of Singaporeans are living. Okay, so they cannot allow prices to go up too much. Okay, and there's no change in terms of your private homes and also private bank loans. Okay, so no change in that. It's still a 25% down payment, which means it's a 75% loan. Okay, so guys, look at it this way. Okay, why is this important? And to share the customer, because if they are afraid of this, okay, moving forward, think again. Okay, if there will be more cooling measures, trust me, the next one they will target is they will target your private already. So now it's a 75% LTV. Is it possible that they change it to 70%? Possible, right? They will always try to cool it over and over again. So when today they still have a chance, okay, if they can afford, of course, we need the affordability, I think they should take action, because it may just change to 70% and then things would change, and then their whole plans would change. Okay, so this is why we need to educate and highlight to the customers. Okay, so what change is this targeting app? It's targeting towards the HDB market because of all your $1 million HDB. So the government is doing something. And because of that, they also know private property owners made a lot of money, right? In the previous slide I mentioned, they made 21% in the past 2 years. Okay, 20%. So they know that a lot of private property owners are sitting on good profits. And if they were to cash out and they were to buy a HDB, wow, our HDB market will go crazy. Okay, so that's the reason why they actually came out with this 15-month wait out period for private property owners to buy HDB, which means to say all private owners today, okay, when they sell their private, they cannot buy back a HDB until 15 months later. Okay, so again, they cannot buy back HDB, they can only buy back a condominium. Okay, Abby, sorry, can you just help me mute the background? Yeah, thank you. Okay, so what does this mean? Okay, this means that these buyers, okay, they have nothing much to buy already. They have to buy back a private property. And of course, this rule is not, towards the above 55. So anyone above 55, you're only subjected to this rule, and you're only able to buy a 4-room and smaller. Okay, so you cannot buy a 5-room, you cannot buy a EM, you cannot buy a EA. Okay, so they do not want all these prices to speculate. So they can only allow you to buy back a 4-room. So this is a 15-month wait out. So again, this comes as a shocker right now. This is a kind of a new kind of measures that is cramped and focused on the HDB market. Okay, now you can see all these news came out and said, wow, everybody was shocked. Now they have deterred private property owners' plans to sell, and then because they cannot downgrade back to HDB. So where would they buy? Can anyone tell me? Okay, if you are these owners, okay, you really want to buy back affordable housing. Okay, you cannot buy HDB. Where will you buy? Okay, so you will buy probably, where like what you mentioned. Can you even buy EC not? EC you need to wait out how many months? Right, 30 months, even worse. Yeah, you can't even buy EC if you downgrade from a private property. You have to buy into where? OCR areas. Okay, so this is the reason why our OCR prices are skyrocketing. Okay, guys, 2,000 per square foot in OCR is really unheard of just last year. Okay, if you say 2,000, we are all like, wow, it must be crazy. But I think today, these are all new benchmarks that they are hitting because of all these measures, because of inflation, because of everything now comes as a perfect storm. Okay, so you can see that prices of OCR is going really, really higher. Okay, then what is another important concern that will probably also ride out at least for the next 6 to 9 months is that this thing called interest rate. Wow, so everybody interest rate is going higher and higher, true now. Okay, so interest rate is also one of the concerns, but guys, it's just a concern, but maybe let me share with you where are the opportunities. Okay, so today, the home loans are going up. Okay, so just a tip lah. Okay, if this thing will continue to grow, okay, interest will continue to go up if inflation goes up. Okay, so if inflation is tamed, then interest rate will be tamed. Okay, so what we see now is the inflation is slowing down, especially in the US. Okay, so but we felt that I think in the next 6 months you will still continue to creep up a little bit, right? So if you guys are really looking to buy or things, just get the fixed rate right now, no problem. Okay, so it will still go up a little bit at least for the next 6 months itself. And then will interest rate crash prices? Okay, so this is a chart to show your clients that, Mr. Client, okay, do you remember that in 2017 there was also an interest rate hike? Okay, during that period, okay, property price also continued to go up. So actually, end of the day, right, interest rate doesn't affect property prices. It will affect sentiment. What is sentiment? Sentiment means, affected, maybe this. These are what we call sentiments. But end of the day, it will not affect prices. Okay, these people own houses where they pay a higher installment. I don't think by paying an extra 500 installment, you will sell your house, right? Will you fire sale your house? No one, right? So all these things are to share the client that interest rate is not in relation to property prices. Yes, it may be sentimental, it will affect morale, but it doesn't affect prices. Okay, so this should show you that in 2017 it doesn't affect. So even for now, okay, it won't affect prices. Okay, so it's just to share with them that interest rate does not correlate with property prices. Okay, so with all this increase in interest rate, where is the specific opportunity that will show you that is sustainable? Where is it? Okay, this you have to use this slide. So with all these higher interest, okay, it actually lowers people from defaulting and preventing a property bubble. Okay, for example, if today you make $10,000 a month, you make your family income is $10,000 a month, and then you have 500,000, whether is it in cash or CPF. So today, imagine this, you make $10,000 and you have 500,000. Long ago, okay, our TDSR interest rate, 60%, and then interest rate was 3.5. If you have 500,000, you can buy a 1.7 million, okay, and then you will have left some money in your bank account. But this money can only sustain your installment for 9 months. Okay, that means to say your 500,000, after paying your down payment, you have some money left, but this money can only be sustainable for you for 9 months. Okay, which is what we call the safety net. But if you fast forward to today, okay, today's TDSI is at 55%, right? So we always say, oh, we want our clients to be prudent. We don't want them to overstretch. Guys, not to worry. If we are worried, the government is more worried, right? So it is the government that actually is tightening all this prudence for us. I think it's really helping us, okay? So the government is doing all this. They're tightening TDSR 55%, increasing, MAS increased the gearing ratio to around 4%, okay? Some banks I know are already going up to 4.5, but based on MAS requirement, it's 4%. And imagine with a 500,000, you can only afford a 1.5 million. So your budget basically what? Reduce a little bit, okay? But in terms of budget reduce, your down payment also reduces, okay? So with this 500,000, after the down payment, you still have some money left, and this savings can last you 21 months without a job. So can you, can the market crash or not? Without, all these things, I think it's really what we call, there's no prudency. But with all this, I think the market is very, very prudent. Okay, so this is the reason why our property price will continue to sustain. Okay, so we're not saying it will bring up or down prices, but at least affordability is there. The risk of default is very, very low moving forward. Okay, so this is really something very positive for us. So with all this high interest rate, what does it also mean to home buyers? Because on the ground, definitely there's a lot of people say, hey, yeah, interest rate is so high, why should I buy? No, I don't want to buy. But actually, this is not their concern. Their concern is just trying to give you an excuse that they don't want to buy. Because, Mr. Client, if I have a solution for you that you don't have to pay high interest, would you want to accept this opportunity? Okay, if yes, then look at it this way, Mr. Client. So why do we say you can save? Okay, is that because today there is a scheme called the Progressive Payment Scheme. It is only applicable to new launches, right? So today, if you buy a resale, you say, oh, high interest rate, I base on 3.5. Okay, you probably have to pay like 150,000 of interest over 4 years, right? Because you're going to buy a resale. But if you were to buy a new launch, you're not so urgent right now. These 4 years, you only pay 30,000 of interest because you don't pay your full installment, right? So if you're really, really afraid of interest and yet believe in the potential of property, then new launch today is even a better buy. Okay, so guys, this will push more buyers into the new launch market because this is a true reflection of finance. Okay, so a true savings they can get when they buy a new launch. Okay, so this is something that you guys have to take note. Now, of course, so a little bit in a summary in terms of the buying behaviors on these cooling measures. So because of the interest rate and floor rate increase, okay, you will see that home buyers will take lesser loan with lower risk of defaulting for long-term sustainable growth. Okay, this is for those that always believe, oh, price will fall because interest rate go up. Price will continue to go up and the risk of defaulting is low. So this is where you can talk to them. Second, HDB LTV has lowered from 85 to 80%. This increases some of the HDB buyers' down payment. It also reduces their loan. Okay, HDB loan is based on MSR, so it's a 30% MSR. It's very hard to get a loan for HDB. So if they can get a 300,000 loan from HDB, how much can they get a loan for private property? They can get nearly double. They can get like 550,000 because in private properties they are using TDSR, and that's why a lot of HDB upgraders or even first-time buyers are buying into the private market. Okay, so because it's all based on TDSR. And of course, we mentioned 15-month wait-out period. After you sell your condo, you cannot downgrade to HDB, right? So you will downgrade to a lower quantum private home, okay, which we see that most of the time is going to be your OCR, because this is the lowest entry price for private homes. Okay, so where are these opportunities? Okay, so as mentioned, there'll be more savings for buyers if they were to buy a BUC condo because it's based on a progressive payment structure. Okay, so do take this opportunity to save money. Okay, so if you want to save money, you don't pay so high interest, you should look into a brand new launch. Okay, BUC. And of course, also talking about greater financial prudency. Okay, with all the TDSR, all the interest rate, it makes buyers even a healthier position to buy properties, and that's why it will promote a stable and sustainable property market. Okay, so this is things that you can actually communicate with your clients. So next year, what is the very simple outlook for next year? Okay, you guys know, okay, next year 2023 is actually also one of the lowest in terms of supply. We're already facing it today already. So you can see why your buyers have nothing to buy in the market, right? North, south, east, west. Well, I really, one hand can finish counting how many new launch we have already. So we're really, really low on supply, and the basic economics, right? Low supply, high demand. This is where next year is, again, it will continue probably even better than this year's growth. Okay, you will see that there's going to be low supply in today's market. We're at a 5-year low. So at 2017, you can see prices also went up actually quite a fair bit in 2017. It will probably also repeat the same for next year itself. Okay, so all these things will translate to what? Higher future launch prices. Okay, so from last year and the year before, you can see average launch price is 1,006, but moving forward, okay, probably more than 2,001 per square foot already. Okay, so we have already witnessed OCR prices crossing 2,001, 2,002 per square foot. Okay, so it's nothing new already. Okay, so all your Lentor, Amo has already achieved all these prices. Okay, so again, we need to really slowly adapt to the new prices. Then you say, Alex, all these prices so high, how can we sustain a market like that? Is it even possible? Ladies and gentlemen, let me share with you. It is highly possible because it's all in the books and the hands, okay, of all our transformational roadmaps of Singapore. Okay, everything is planned, so we don't have to worry for the government. They really planned everything out way, way ahead of us. They really planned like 100 years already. Why do I say that? Guys, take a look at this. Maybe you have forgotten. In 2013, they already had this white paper, right? When they came out with this, people complain, wow, the roads are not enough and things like that. But today, we start to understand the different opportunities, right? With talents, new, residents, it actually props up property prices and creates more economy, right? Creates and improve the economy. So you can see, okay, in 2013, they really wrote 2020, they have an increase in population. And again, in 2030, there will be another increase in population gradually. So, and all this white paper coming from the government, it's all controlled and also they deliver. So the good thing about Singapore is that they deliver on their promises. Okay, so you can see 2020, 5.8 to 6 million. Okay, you can see 2020 is probably around slightly lesser, right? Maybe because of a COVID and things like that. But we are on the mark already. Okay, and from today to 2030, we are actually a 19% population growth away. Okay, so we still have a fair bit of growth to go just based on population alone. Okay, so this actually supports what property prices. Okay, so population is something that you can share with a customer that don't have to worry for us. The government knows how to put forward all our infrastructure, residents, so that they can actually have more demand for property, right? And then again, your customer will say, yeah, so high, but my income never increased. True or not? Do your income increase? Not everybody will say no one. Confirm. Who will say yes one? Nobody will say yes one. Whichever phase they are at. Okay, so that's why we need to address it with statistics. Okay, so actually, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's income has increased. Okay, so over the last 10 years, the average median Singapore income has increased from 3,002 to 4,006, which is a 44% growth. Or whether we like it or not, whether we agree to it or not, this is national statistics. Okay, you can draw this from National Stats, Ministry of Manpower. Okay, so I will share with my client, Mr. Client, we have actually increased in income by 44%. So you cannot say we never increase money. We increase in our salary. But I would say that the property price is undervalued. It hasn't went up in terms of what? In terms of income, in relation to income. So actually, we can still go up more. Okay, so income has went up by 44%, but this property price, we are still slightly below. We still can go higher. Okay, so again, income is a good support, for property prices. So more population, increase in income. Okay, so that's why property prices are very sustainable. Then this slide is very powerful for you to talk to clients that say, no lah, income, no. So all these things you can also make use of this. Okay, and yesterday I pull out this. I think this is very important stats that I want to show everyone. Okay, so today we're going to showcase the Botany, right? At Dairy Farm. We must understand where these buyers are coming from. So I pull out this chart. It actually states, okay, there's a lot of strong affordability by HDB upgraders. Why? An average family income for a 4-room HDB is $9,771. This can be extracted from Singapore statistics, SingStat. So with $9,000 family income, if you really work out the numbers, they can easily afford a $1.5 million property. Okay, guys, this is median income. Median income means 50th percentile, right? 50 years in the center line, 50. Okay, I haven't talked about the higher income. Okay, we also never talk about the lower income. So the median income can already afford a 1.5 million 4-room flat. Okay, anywhere in Singapore. Okay, so you can get them to upgrade. And a 5-room flat, okay, an average family, their income is around 13,000. If you work out the numbers, their affordability is 2 million, right? 2.016 million. So, ladies and gentlemen, next year, trust me, anything between, don't need to be between, anything below $2 million will fly off the shelf, because 80% of the buyers in today's market, they are all HDB upgraders. Okay, so they can easily afford. Sweet spot, of course, is 1.5 million, right? But 2 million and below, okay, it will sell, because at 2 million is the 50th percentile. That is the middle average income. Okay, so they can easily afford more. If the private property people want to buy, I think 2.5, no problem. Okay, so but we're looking at today where these buyers are coming from, and can they even afford it? And the answer is yes, if it's around this price range. Okay, so this is something that you can share with your customers. Okay, so all in all, in 2023, what do we expect? Okay, first, definitely a rise in population. Okay, as economy reopens, and I think these past few days you can see, right, China is slowly opening up. If you think Singapore's inflation is scary, you wait till China opens up. Okay, so you will see more demand for goods and services, more travel, and all this will spill over to our Singapore market. Okay, so this is just something that you can look out for. Next year, it will be still a low residential supply environment. You will have lesser resale sellers. That's why prices are always going to go up for next year, and household income growth will continue. Okay, so this is what we do expect in the year 2023 itself. Okay, so I think
the Botany at Dairy Farm that can kickstart your prosperous 2023. Okay, this project is targeted to launch early February, so it's likely straight after the Chinese New Year. Okay, next. Let me touch on the site. All right, so this site is actually government land sales. This is a site that's surrounded by nature, and it is within walk to Hillview MRT Station. So this is a very hotly contested site among 7 major developers. People like CDL, Wintais, Hillion, and Hillion eventually won the bids at $980 per square feet per plot ratio. Okay, so as mentioned in Alex's slides, Botany has the lowest land cost of below 1,000 PSF among all the government land sales in 2022. So with Amor and Lentor Modern launching above 2,000 PSF, setting the benchmark for OCR, we will expect Botany to be the most affordable new launch in 2023. And maybe this is probably the last chance that you will see below 2,000 PSF mark. Okay, next. So besides having attractive price, we also need a good product, right? Okay, the developer Hillion Group have created new homes for families in Singapore for the past 40 years. They have outstanding track records and wins multiple expertise awards in constructions. So there are 2 entities, Hillion Land and Hillion Development, will co-develop these sites, Botany at dairy farm. Okay, their hallmark is being generous in space, efficient, and offering a very practical layout, as well as offering very exclusive craftsmanship and finishes. When I first visited their show flats, right, in Treasure at Tampines. Okay, next, let's show the track records of the developers. Okay, the Treasure at Tampines is a mega development of 2,203 units, largest development in Singapore. Okay, they have been the best-selling projects in 2019 and 2020. So they are already fully sold way before their TOP. So these developments, right, I was very impressed when I actually first stepped into their show flats. Okay, I went in, the space of all the rooms are all so spacious that I say, wow, this is a project that I will have to show my clients. So we can expect a similar or even a better products for this site coming, okay? So they are also developers for Hillion Mall and residences at Bukit Panjang. So they are very experienced in this region. So they will definitely bring you a product that suits the community around here. Okay, they are also developers of EC like Treasure Crest, even luxurious developments, the Lincoln's residences at Newton. So they are very experienced developer. Okay, so now let's look at the next slide, please. Okay, this is the actual locations for this site. We are right in front of the German European schools, international schools, and actually we are just beside the upcoming dairy farm mall. And also you can look at this map, right? We are all surrounded by nature, greenery. Okay, we are actually just a short walk, 6 minutes walk via a covered walkway to Hillview MRT. Okay, I'll leave the close by amenities to Daryl to brief you later on, but I would just want to touch on the orientation of the site. Okay, next slide, please. Thank you. Right, so this is the northern view. So if you're getting units facing the north side, you can see the far ends is actually the Bukit Panjang estates. Okay, then closer to us, next you have the good class bungalow area, which is the Chestnut Avenue. And closer to us, we have a plot of open land, which is a 1.4 plot ratio. So rest assured, this is going to be a low-rise development. So fronting this north facing, we will have very nice, beautiful unblocked view. Okay, next. Southern view, this is even very impressive. Okay, look at the far end, we have this Bukit Timah Natural Reserve, right? So you will see one whole stretch of greenery. And plus, the nearer to us, we also have this Dairy Farm Nature Park as well. So there are many activities you can do around this area. So we will share all more details into in the future sessions, okay? Now, then straight nearer to us, of course, is the GESS, the international school. This school is actually, we have 6 to 7 story height. So anything that is above 8 story, we likely will clear the building in front of us. Okay, and slightly on the left side, my left, we have this Dairy Farm mall that's upcoming. Okay, next slide, so we look at the next slide, please. Yes, the western view. So western view, here we have this Skywoods residences, we have the Chestnuts estates, and the far end you see there's one plot of green plots of land is actually reserved for special use, and we have this NS hub. We will expect some new developments on this region as well. So you can see Hillview MRT, all right, just on the left side. It's just about 6 minutes walk, and they are all covered walkway all the way. Okay, let's look at the western view, eastern view, sorry. Next, please. Thank you. Wow, look at this. Okay, so on the eastern view wise, immediately before us, we are actually having this Dairy Farm residences, And then you will see also a few private condo, the Frerexki, and then the Eco Sanctuaries. And of course, moving further, we have the Chestnuts Natural Park. And you see this PKE running across as well. So further far, you will see the central water catchments as well. So from here, you can see that this plots of land is totally surrounded by nature park. So we will rest assured this is a place that have very fresh, greenery, relaxing environment, which is best for the health. Okay. Now, next, we will. Okay, let's see. This is actually the preliminary information of the development. The project name, the Botany at Daily Farm. Okay, developer again is Hillion Land and Hillion Development. Right, so they will co-develop these projects. This is a 99 leasehold starting from March 2022. We will update you further once the expected TOP is been released by the developers. Okay, the site area is 15,663 square meter. That equates to 168,275 square feet in size. Okay, next. So we are actually seated on a slightly elevated ground. Okay, a slight hill. So we have 5 blocks of different story from 9, 13, 14, and 15 story towers. Okay, total we have 386 units from 1 bedroom to 5 bedrooms. So rest assured we'll definitely have a layout for your buyer, be it they are singles, whether they are investors, whether they are family, young families, or multi-generations. I'm sure we have a layout that suits them. Okay, now next, at this point we do not have very much information, but we do anticipate a wide range of exciting facilities coming up, and also knowing that Hillion, okay, next slide please. They will provide very quality fittings and appliances. And next slide. And of course, we will expect to have this smart home system. So what brands and all this we will be updating once the developer announces to us. Okay, so that's all for me for now. I will hand over to Daryl to share with you the vicinities, the amenities of this development. Over.
Okay, for me, I will touch on the reputable amenities and so-called connectivities at the Botany actual site. So for Botany, right, those EIA teammates who have involved in Midwood and also involved in dairy farm residence, which is already fully sold for these 2 projects, I'm confident that you know most of the facilities and amenities around here, but I will just recap to new members in EIA and also core team who are in previous project. Okay, so we are seated just next to dairy farm residence, all right, but we are nearer to the Hillview MRT Station. Okay, and the very good connectivities at this area, for me myself, I'm staying very near to it at a stone throw away. So we are just 2 traffic light away to hit the highway, which most of the drivers would love it, where you don't spend much time, all right, to travel to work or travel to send your kids to school. All right, and things that to note, right, we are just 6 minutes to Hillview MRT, which we have done the sidewalk with our leadership team previous day. We only 6 minutes to MRT station, which is a very close by distance, and it has been sheltered almost 80%. All right, to the MRT. Next slide, please. Okay, touching on to the MRT station, this downtown line, right? I can say that this is the best MRT line which serve residents all right, to the town and the city center. We are just 5 stops away to the first interchange, which is the Circle Line. We are 7 stops away to North-South Line, which is the red color line. And we are 8 stops away to the northeast line. This will be the third interchange, and the fourth one will be the green line, which is 10 stop away. Okay. And okay, for Alex, sorry, the previous slide, please. So for residents who are going to travel to Orchard Road, right? We are just 20 minutes away. I can say most of the residents there would prefer to take a public transport where you do not need to caught in the jam or find parking space in the mall. So we are just 20 minutes away to Orchard MRT and 24 minutes to City Hall, where this will be another place where workplace and also for shopping. All right, and to the Paya Lebar MRT, we are just 30 minutes. All right, 30 minutes we can reach Paya Lebar, and also within 30 minutes we can reach the downtown line, which is near the MBS, where there's all the shopping and casino there. Next slide, please. Okay, don't forget about school. In fact, when we are selling for Midwoods and Dairy Farms, right, at that so-called last year, okay, a lot of buyers who their kids are already enlisted to those reputable schools, which is listed on this slide. We have about 5 schools. They are the buyers there where their kids can reach the school within a short periods of just about 4 to 5 stops away, where it's King Alfred Park and also Tankaki. Okay, so this is somewhere that you might get your buyers from. So yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, I have done a so-called using a Google Map to pop up those famous locations and places that where most of us will reach out to, like example Ion Orchard, Bugis Junction, the ECP, and also MBS. If you really want to drive to this location, in fact, all within 20 minutes, you are able to reach there. And I using the peak hour, which is about 5 o'clock, when the timestamp, when I screenshot the timestamp 5:37, and this will be the peak hour. Okay, so this I can say that you can share with the buyers who are looking at this location. It's very centralized in the way that. All right, next slide, please. Okay, this map is going to show you more to the shopping malls where you get your grocery and you're having some meals around this area. All right, so we are just one station away. We are just one station away to Beauty World Center, and there is another mixed developments coming up, which is by far is the Reserve. Okay, this is another exciting launch by Far East. I can say their price definitely will cost 2,500 per square feet. This is what I presume. So we are one station away. Okay, so those who are familiar with this location, by then, right, there will be another station in between, but it has not been built. So I will just stay at one station away for now. All right. And we talk about walking distance to Hillview 2 is just a 16 minutes walk. Right, 16 minutes walk to Hillview 2, crossing 2 traffic lights, and we will reach Hillview 2 where there's 2-story F&B. We have marketplace there also to serve you the grocery. And the best part of these developments is we are stone throw to Hillview residents, where level 1 is a mixed, is a commercial. We have 57 retail space, including of supermarket, food hall, childcare, retail, and F&B. Just a minute away, and that goes to all your meals that you can enjoy. Okay. So another place that so-called a famous place where most of us will go will be the Real Mall. Real Mall also provide you with a cold storage 24 hours. And we have a full range of F&B from Japanese. Okay, we have cafe, Starbucks. We have coffee bean too. We have those prata shops. All right. So it's a full range of F&B at Railway Mall. Not leaving out of Hillion Mall and also Bukit Panjang Plaza. These are the two malls where is a so-called mega mall at that area. At a 6-minute drive, you will be able to reach these two mega malls to have, you will spend more time there. All right. So this is the whole location, which is the very convenient, reachable by foot, walking, or by car, or by train. So this is all about this whole area of the dairy farm. Okay, next. Okay, within this 1 km to 2 km facilities where we can reach the school, it's a list of, we have about 7 schools. The neighborhood school is St. Anthony, Lianhua, Tachong, Swiss Cottage, Lian Secondary School, Hill Grove, CHIJ. Some of the purchasers for Meatwood and dairy farms, right? They are parents of CSIJ, where the kids also has been enlisted to the school, which is fall within 1 km at the moment. So these are the parents that you can target off to reach out to them, to tell them that your chance are here. Previous 2 projects has been sold out. So this is something that you can look into. Next slide, please. Urban transformation, we have a 24 km, which I think most of them has been highlighted years ago also. So I just want to recap and not to left out this interesting, healthy lifestyle where you can walk or jog or you can cycle. Okay, rear corridor control, which is circled on the left-hand side, is in fact we are just very nearby. This is the in between of this 24 km. Okay, rival range has opened up already. Yesterday I went to rival range there to have a look also. So rival range side also opened up, and rear corridor center part of here is also has been opened up. So you guys can also explore this area if you have the time to stroll around after your meal. So this is a very interesting rear corridor where you can look into. Next one. Phyllis had also highlighted just now about transformation, urban transformation, what will be going to happen, the so-called the major up and coming, which are going to highlight 3 up and coming transformation at the dairy farm area. Firstly, we have on my left will be the NS Hub. This NS Hub has been so-called announced at the COVID period and has been delayed. The map is written 2023, but I would think that this will delay for another year. More information, you can go into the YouTube. I may be able to share the link of the YouTube later part after this Zoom session. All right, and another thing is that a lot of people not realize is that the Hillview MRT, there will be a commercial coming up. They are in construction. Okay, you can't find much information there unless you physically walk to Hillview MRT. It's already hoist up the place. Likely it will be those small retail space like City Hall and so on. It's a link where, example, Old Chunky and so on will be there. So there's small convenience store there also to support the residents there. This is another chain of commercial. All right. The last one on the extreme right will be a new under construction. If right now you went to dairy farm, that area, you will see a lot of construction going on. That will be the road widening to support more residents coming into this area. And this will be, there's an underduct, okay, underduct where will straight away cut through towards Hillview Peak area, where it will be much more nearer to the future National Service Hub. Yeah, this is something very interesting for the next 2 to 3 years. All these transformation will be ready to serve all the residents at that area in terms of dairy farm residents and also Hillview site. All right, next slide. This is an overview on the artist impression of the NS Hub. It's open for public where likely you can book the facilities. For example, might have a badminton court and outdoor fitness area, food outlet and childcare also. So these are the major anchored so-called amenities there for this NSR. Next slide, please. Okay, first mover advantage with this is always in our so-called slogan when we talk to our customer. Beside the Botany, we still have 6 more plot of land which I have put out, starting from the extreme right side, number 1, 2, 3, okay, followed by 4, 5, and the 6 is the smallest spot of land. So why not make a decision now? Get your buyer to get a unit at the Botany. Next slide, please. Okay, to summarize the whole highlights of my portion, it will be 6 minutes walk to Hillview MRT, all right, and 20 minutes drive to Orchard. In fact, the MRT also serve you to Orchard between the 20 minutes range, near to dairy farm retail, F&B supermarket, surrounded with greenery and natural reserve, quiet and serene environment. Temperature 1 to 2 degrees lower. Okay, because we are surrounded by all the greens and also nature reserve, and the temperature in the evening definitely is lower than the city center. So urban transformation, which I touched on, the 3 majors one, and lastly, Hillion, we have the reputable developers, which everyone have the trust in it.